I'm live. I'm live. Hello, friends. Welcome to Tea with Jays. Well, right now I'm talking to myself because I can't see anyone live. If you're here, say hi. I'm quickly sending a message to some friend to say, hey, come and join us. I have a special friend with me today. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy her. I'm sure a few of you, sorry, know her already. I'm sending a friend. Hey, friends, I'm live. Okay. Right, guys, we also having some technology issues today. So my camera keeps freezing. I don't know why. But as long as you continue, you can hear me talking, that's cool. Um, but I will come and go. I don't know what's happening. I can't fix it. So we're just gonna roll with it. Um, I have a very nice friend today with me. I posted on my community tab on YouTube saying, inviting friend to come and chat with me on those lives to share different perspective. And so she said yes, and I'm so happy. And she's a traveler, guys. Okay, I know I'm frozen, but guys, I don't know what to do. Um, right. So let me see. I'm sending another message here to see if anyone else will join us. Otherwise, we're gonna start. Friends. Okay, I'm live. All right. Okay. So the topic today is how to save to travel long term without a high income. Okay. I call myself as somebody who doesn't have a high income by choice. Okay. I prefer to have a lower income but be in charge of my own time instead of letting corporate, you hear me talk that talk before, right? Before, instead of letting a corporate decide of what I'm doing with my time. I will bring my friend on the screen so she can introduce herself. She's also a travel coach, guys. Okay, she's a personal and a travel coach. She will introduce herself better than I can do. So let me bring her on the stage, Hamis, and then she will introduce herself. Hello, friend.
Hello, Jazz. Thanks for having me. I love this.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I was so happy when you said yes. And I'm so sorry that the day that I have you on, my camera is playing up and I'm freezing every second.
It's,
So
it's
we're just
okay.
going
We're
to
just
go
going to
with it.
go with it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm so pleased to have you here. And you are also a traveler, which is amazing, right?
I am. I absolutely love traveling and I'm also a travel coach, I'm a life coach, so I really try to understand what people are looking for, what they're interested in, how to guide them to what their future passions could be. And then
Yeah.
and I've traveled over 53 countries, so I've been traveling for the past
Wow.
25 years. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico from a very poor family, and I've raised, figure out how to do it myself. So
Excellent. Right. So do you consider yourself being a traveler?
I am 100% a traveler. I'm more of an explorer.
An explorer. Explain to me what's the difference.
There's one thing about you can travel and you can go to places, but when you start to explore, you really try to understand what the culture is like and what the
I
people are
love
like
that.
and really
I love that.
assimilate with them. Um, and just because you're visiting a place doesn't mean to know that doesn't not just mean that you're just visiting for a minute. You can visit longer. So when you start to explore, you go deeper than just that surface.
Right. I love that. Hey, Amy. Amy is a friend from the US. And she says, hey, lady, I'm watching while decluttering.
Ha!
Go, girl. I know I need to do some decluttering as well. We're moving house. We just sold our house and we're looking for a new house, our new home. And when you've been living in a house for 23 years, moving is hard because the house is full of things and I'm happy to throw 90% of it,
Yeah.
to start fresh.
But it was
So
things you needed at that point. You just don't
Yeah,
need them now.
no, exactly. And it's a new start, you know. Everything we have is like 20 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So it's time to, refresh, have, I don't know, a new sofa, uh, something new. So, yeah. So, where you also have a YouTube channel, and I love watching you on your YouTube channel. And I know I'm frozen. So, and you travel a lot with your husband, and that's something that I admire. Who had to encourage the other to live a life of traveler or explorers? Were you both travelers already, or did you one of you had to encourage the other?
I think that I've always been a traveler. My husband's been a traveler, but he's always been a traveler for different reasons. He's a ski enthusiast, so he's gone to ski overseas and basically all over the entire United States. And I like to travel just nowhere, anywhere cold. So at the beginning of our relationship, we met a compromise. I learned to ski and snowboard, and I got to go with him, and he got to go to the warm weather places with me. So 24, 20 years later, he's more interested in going to the warm weather places with me. So it works out. So it's equal now.
That's nice. That's nice. It's great to travel with your partner, to have the same passion. And I've seen that you've been doing a few cruises. I've never been on a cruise. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Then we'll go to that topic about traveling, how to save to travel.
Absolutely. So I think the cruises is one way for folks that are not as experienced at traveling to just be able to go somewhere and experience a country for 8 hours and feel comfortable that you get to come back onto the ship. So we started that when I was much younger, when I was 20. Actually, my first cruise when I was 20. I'm almost 50 now. So we've been cruising for a while, and it's a safe way for people to discover different places. After a while, if once you become more adventurous, you graduate from it. But we go back to it when we're low on funds, when we want to go somewhere, but we don't have money. So we always go back to cruising as it's really cost effective.
Really? That's
Very.
something that I never heard.
Yep.
Please teach us about that because I've never traveled. Not I never traveled. I never took a cruise because I always thought that it was something that is too expensive for me
Ye-
to.
Yeah, so I think that's a lot of that's it's subjective depending on where you're from, but for example, if you're going to be in if you're traveling I'm from Boston right now, so when you leave Boston, you can jump on a cruise for 7 days for $400. So for
7 days.
yes, for 7 days, $400 for two people for each person, you can still do it, especially if it's last minute. So I think that's important to know. Now, if you have to fly everywhere, that's always going to be a problem because the cost of the flight is going to be more. And then
Ex- yeah, yeah, exactly. So, guys, hi, Vicky. I'm so happy that you joined us. Guys, I'm having an issue with my internet and I'm freezing all the time. I don't know if it's my camera or internet, but as long as you can hear me, that's okay. I have Hamis here with me who agreed to be live with me, and she's a travel coach, so she can teach us quite a few things. So the topic today is how to save for long-term travel without high income. And I was telling you earlier of offline that a lot of people ask me if I'm rich, how do you travel so much? And what I was saying, and I've always said that it's a matter of priority because travel is extremely important to me that I have an entire account that is allocated only for travel,
yep,
meaning that every time I have my money, there's a part of it that goes to my travel. I don't have a lot of like entertainment outside of traveling. I'm not very social, and because I keep that money for me to travel, right? So, is there any other tips that you would be able to give our audience to have to save for long-term travel? And this travel is really that expensive that people think it is. Or can everyone uh, can afford to travel. Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, I started traveling when I was 20. When I was right out of university, I was 22, and I remember the first year I got my job, I was getting paid barely $29,000, and again, that was a 20 something years ago, but that was what my pay was. So with that pay, I was able to get an apartment and share it with two other women, and pretty much that was really it. So how did I continue to travel? Is I prioritized. I stopped going to Starbucks. I know that sounds the silliest thing, but $4 5 times a week, that adds up. So I started putting that money away in a separate bank account. So over the years, I used to have one bank account for, and I would name it the trip that I was going to. Now,
Yeah,
I am a grown person. I have a job, but I still have 6 or 7 different bank accounts that have the name of the trip and the year on it. And I know that sounds absolutely insane. How did you do that? Well, I put in Africa 2027 and I put in $15 every week. If so, that's how I've been doing it. I've been doing it so that all my trips, even if they're 3, 4, 5, even 6 years in advance, I keep putting in the money no matter what. And the money leaves before my paycheck, even I even acknowledge that my paycheck has hit in there. That's the only way, because if you don't see it, you're not going to use it. And it's also very hard to get the money out of some of these bank accounts because I have to ask, and it's
yeah,
going to take 3 or 4 days. And by then, you change your mind. You don't want that pair of shoes, lipstick, or whatever it is that you're interested in. You just don't do it. That to me has
yeah,
been the biggest thing. And like you, Jazz, it's about prioritizing. Do you want a trip or do you want to get your hair done? You know?
yeah, yeah. I know exactly, and for me, it's even when I'm traveling, it's do I want to have a good meal
Yep,
every day, 3 times a day, go to the restaurant, or do I want to travel
yep,
longer, right? One meal, maybe one night in a hostel or in a private room, somewhere. So you have to make that choice. For some people, traveling in luxury and just being in big hotel is what they can do. Everybody is different. That's okay. But I don't mind, being frugal while I travel to make sure that I can travel
I
longer.
completely
So
agree. And I take clients out for lunches and dinners. Um, And it's really funny. That bill could be like, in USD, $75. But to me, $75 means a night in a hotel in Bali. And I just
exactly.
when I do that, I'm like, I can't do that. And we know that we can stay in great hotels around the world for less than $40 USD. We know that.
Yes.
So when I
Yes.
see when I see my bill for lunch for two people be $75, I want to cry. I'm like, what are we doing here? So, um,
I know. I know it's exactly the same for me. And it's true that the hotel that we cannot afford in like
yeah,
America, Europe. I've been in India in those big hotel 5 star. You will pay a fraction of the price. So the luxury, time to time, why not? When you are, abroad in places where the cost of living is lower,
absolutely.
then you can time to time, and it's nice time to time to have a luxury room and a luxury meal, but only if I can stretch my budget.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons that I think someone on the screen, Hasuda, is saying plus food, entertainment, and activities are included in the cruise. So when I say I have an itch to go somewhere and I don't have enough money because I don't want to take it out of another trip, we jump on a cruise because you can get 3 meals and they're usually pretty great meals. Hey, I'm not cooking it, so it's going to be great no matter what. I'm not doing the dishes. I'm not doing the
Absolutely.
dishes. I'm not doing my room. Someone singing and dancing for me. I absolutely love it. But the other thing that I really like about cruising is you get to meet the crew that's on the ship, and they're coming from places like India, from places like Indonesia, Philippines, all those places. And you get to teach each other and learn from each other's culture. I'm sure they think of us going, oh, look at these people are paying God knows how much money on the ship. I'm the cheap one. I take the interior rooms. But to them, it's an experience. And to us, it's also an experience because it's about learning each other's, from each other and the culture.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly, exactly. It's something, I'm planning to go on my first cruise this summer and going from Orlando because I want to go to the Caribbean. And going to the Caribbean from Europe cost way
So
too
much
much.
money.
It's sometimes cheaper. Yeah, it's sometimes cheaper to take a flight to go to New York and then New York go through maybe with the
Yeah.
train. You guys have a train. I forgot the name.
It's
Amtrak.
it's it's
Amtrak.
Amtrak, but it's a terrible train. Don't take the train.
Really?
No, it's
So,
trains
okay.
in
What do
America.
you advise?
Trains in America are not cost effective, and they are not like Europe. Just
Oh,
don't.
okay.
Just take a flight.
Really? They're not cost
Yes.
effective? Would you say that you can find a cheaper flight than taking the
Yeah, because remember when you take the train from New York down to Florida, it's going to take you a couple days, and it's not just one train. And half the time it doesn't even make it all the way through. It kind of breaks down. So it's not like Europe. Let me just put it that way. Transportation in the U.S. is mediocre at best.
right? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to call you later on as a travel coach, so you'll help me plan that trip for for America
Yeah,
because I do need to save money.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's going to be so much easier if you just fly. Just take a quick flight and jump down to Florida. It will be much easier.
right. Because it looks like the camera is fixed somehow. I did some voodoo magic,
You're
and
good. You're
it's
good.
yes, I know, right? I'm moving now. Now, okay. So, Vicky says, being in California, we are limited to cruises to Mexico, or we have to fly to a cruise port.
Mm-hmm.
But the more cruise line are adding itineraries that are going originate up and down the coast.
Yep. You're
Okay,
you're right. You're right, Vicky. They are. And if you pick, so we're talking about saving money and traveling, right? So when you find those, you can do it last minute. If you do it last minute, you might get a good deal, or you can book it 2 years in advance and you're going to get a good deal. And again, this is about saving money and planning for future travel. So if you keep calling, don't pay your bill until you have to pay your bill. Do not give them money. Do not give them your money. You keep calling and say, did the price go down? Did the price go down? Did the price go down? More than likely, the price would have gone down and they honor the new price. And then at the last minute, you give them your money. Just try to hold on to your money because you want your money to be working for you somewhere else. So save that money in your other trips. Keep getting the interest and don't give anyone any money until it's absolutely due.
right. Excellent. And Aramis, you were talking about 2026 or 2027. I heard you say you're planning a trip to Africa. I'm African, so when I hear Africa, I'm like, hallelujah. Tell me about it.
So I've been my husband has been saving forever for this trip. He's been saving for like 7 years. So it's my gift as my for my 50th. So we don't know where we're gonna go yet. We just
Okay.
know that we want to go to South Africa. We want to go taste a little wine. We don't drink as much anymore, but we want to taste it. It's supposed to be beautiful. But I also want to see the hospitality of the South African people, which they're supposed to be incredible. The food is supposed to be incredible. The scenery, everything. And if I could get my butt up to Victoria Falls, that's the second place that I want to go to. So
These are two amazing places. South Africa, I always say, is an easy entry to Africa
yes,
because it's westernized. There's the infrastructure out there. It's not the rough Africa
yeah.
where, like Central Africa. It has its charm as well. South Africa is amazing. I've been there last year and I've been there before.
I
My
know. I
husband,
saw your video on Victoria Falls.
yeah, oh Lord Jesus.
Was it
Victoria
beautiful?
Fall is something, Victoria Fall is in Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
it's between is these two countries. And from South Africa you can take the bus, you can fly as well. There's cheap flight inside. But South Africa, Johannesburg, if you love New York, big cities, you will like Johannesburg is not my thing, but Cape
Yeah.
Town is breathtaking.
Yeah.
The beauty is just unheard of. And there's also the Cape of Good Hope, which is the extreme south of Africa. It's beautiful. If you can go there, please, yes. And
It's one of those things that I'm dying to go. I went to Antarctica a couple years ago.
yeah,
Took my parents, and I just can't wait to go. So
yeah. And if you can make it to Victoria Falls, oh my God, it's beautiful.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll be watching because I follow you and your husband traveling and cruising and etc. I'm like, I'll just enjoy seeing you talk about, wherever you're up to. And yeah, that's why I was so excited when you said you're coming uh on yeah, anyway, on the video with me. Vicky said, very true. The train here are terrible. Guys, what are you saying? So do I
It's
have to travel all the time? I mean, take the flight. The thing is, I'm trying to reduce the flying, and I honestly thought that flying was also more expensive because the I've been to America several times, but I call Orlando the fake America, like the
it's
Orlando.
completely fake America. Don't that's that's like the Caribbean. I mean,
I
Jesus.
know it's a different way of living there. It's completely different. But I've been to Washington, Miami, etc. But it's the first time that I've been traveling on my own to America. Usually my husband is there. I'm a
Yeah.
passenger and I'm just enjoying life. Right? So now I'm traveling solo a lot and I can't wait to go see Vicky, Amy, I mean, all the people that you see right now with us, they're friends that I'm hoping to meet there. And who knows, maybe we can meet also somewhere, uh, along the
Uh,
way.
we will. I know we will.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go see. There's more messages. Amy says, does your guest have a preferred last minute cruise site she preferred? Okay, I think that's for you.
So there's a website called Cruise Plum. So it's cruise and the word
Yes.
Plum.
Yeah.
So you can't book them there, but you can search them there. It's a cumbersome to maneuver, but once you find it there, I go to cruisesonly.com, and I know the name sounds cheesy, but it is cruisesonly.com. I've used them for over 10 years, and they just give you the best price. And the price might actually be lower than the one you see on Cruise Plum. So
Right.
give them a shot. That would be it. And then the other way you could do it is you sometimes going directly to the cruise line is also a great way. The appeal for going to a travel agent, a TA, would be that they have additional bonus things that they can give you. Free onboard, free onboard spending, free dinners, tips, things like that. So if that
Right.
helps,
Okay. I've seen on when I was looking for the cruises, I've seen that there's a lot of cruises. You need to be American to book them.
they are.
Okay.
There's a
Okay.
lot. The companies all have different sites for America. And unfortunately,
Oh,
I am sorry to tell you this, the prices for the Americans are significantly lower than the prices from non-American.
right. And okay. At least I know in advance, but they're still cheaper though, because I've looked to cruises from the UK, it was just out of price.
Yes, it
But
is.
from Orlando, I could find, a 5-day cruise for less than $1,000.
You can find them for less than 300 if you look really hard.
What?
Yes, I know that sounds crazy, but right now, if you're leaving out of Orlando, remember Orlando and Miami are the largest cruise ports in the world. They have so much volume. Sometimes they need to fill the ships up. So if you don't come in the summer, don't come here in the summer. Don't come between November and January, February. Don't do any of those. Go to the other months. You're going to get really great prices. The other
So
thing is you could try is to get a VPN. A VPN and
yeah,
change it so that your location is America. See, you might be able to book it through the American site.
but would they not then, when boarding, asking for my passport and I have a French
That
passport, and they're like, nah,
that has nothing to do with it because
right,
you put it in as long as once you register, you can buy it, but once you register,
yeah.
that after you do that, then you put in your passport.
Whoa,
So
thank you so much.
you
Okay,
can you can try it. Some people have had luck with it. Sometimes the VPN catches up. So you need to clear all your cookies, you need to do a bunch of things and then change your VPN to be United States.
excellent. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. You see, I didn't know that inviting you on the channel will be actually serving myself, you coaching me on my travel and my own travel. Guys, so if you have question, please ask Iramis in the comment. Do I pronounce your name properly?
Iramis, yes.
Iramis, yes.
Yeah.
So Vicky is saying we are going to Antarctica in 2026. Lucky you. You say
Yeah,
you've been to Antarctica as well, right?
I did, but we did so I was with my parents and my husband's parents. They're a little older. So we did the cruise by. I call it the cruise by, the scenic cruising. But we were down in Antarctica for 3 days, actually, doing the scenic cruising. So we saw the penguins, the whales, everything you're supposed to see. And then we went up to the Falkland Islands and then, Port Stanley, etc., and then back up to Argentina. So Ushuaia was incredible. Aging on your own terms, Vicky.
Yeah.
Ushuaia, you're going to absolutely love it. And then everything, the scenery was incredible. Going to the Drake Passage, we had what was called the Drake Lake. We did not get the shake. So I missed out on the crazy waves. It was like this. It was like perfectly smooth. So,
Wow.
but
Okay.
you're going to have a great time, Vicky.
Excellent. Excellent. Never been to Antarctica.
Ugh,
On the list, but when, I don't know. It's expensive, right, to go to Antarctica. That's the impression. Can you
yeah,
do Antarctica on a budget?
you can actually. So there's another channel. I think Brian and Carrie. They just went to Antarctica, and they did it cost effective. I actually, they did a good job, but the cruise that I was on, we did it for, I think it was $2,100 per person, but that was 14 days, folks. So that's not a 7 day, a 5 day, that was 14 days, and it included everything. And that cost included the tips. So $2,100 for 14 days is pretty decent when it includes all your food, your
Okay.
entertainment, your entertainment, it actually included alcohol. I don't know why that package had that, but it included alcohol, it included your room, everything. So when you do the math, it was a little bit over $100 per person per day, but it
Yeah.
included everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But for somebody, it's something that you have to save for.
You
So
have to
yeah.
save for that. I think we
Yeah.
saved for about 2 years for that.
Yeah.
Um, and it was, do you want to go out or do you want to go see penguins?
Exactly. This is it. I don't know. I've been saving also for a while for this trip that I'm going on in June, and it's like a gift for my own birthday. I'm gonna turn 53. Is it or 52? I can't remember what age I am, guys. And
They
once
all
I
start
turn 50,
pushing together.
yeah, that was it. Like I'm 50 forever until I'm 60. So and so I wanted to have to do a cruise, and so yeah, I've been saving and I continue saving today.
Yep.
And because we're moving as well, I started. like selling a few things because I usually give everything to charity. But
Yeah.
I started putting a few things online and I sold, and everything that comes from this sales goes directly to that account for that trip. So, as a travel coach, do you have any other tips for the people believing that traveling it's only for people who have money, who for like, who have money? What other tips can you give uh, to be able to travel even if you are in a doesn't have a high income?
Yeah. And I think that the most important part, other than the prioritizing, is making a solid plan about
Mm,
what you want to see and why you want to see it. I think a lot of us get caught up in saying, well, I'm going to go to the beach and drink for 5 days. Well, are you really? Because after 1 day or 2 days, that gets pretty darn boring. Also, your bathing suit starts to not fit because you were drinking too much. But when you start thinking about prioritizing what your needs are and what your mental and physical needs are, and holistically, that's going to almost start like a little mini avalanche, because once you have those priorities, you're going to start going down and seeing, okay, what's my second thing that I need, what's my third thing that I need. And once you get, you're thinking about it for a couple of months, and you've already started in your mind and you've already saved money. So the time that you've been thinking about it, you've already been proactive about your daily, what you do daily, to make sure that you can make a dent in your savings. The other thing is to really think about what is most important to you when you go on that, when you travel. Is it about friends and family? Is it about yourself? Because when it's about friends and family, funny, those trips are more expensive. But when it's about yourself, you start to really understand what are your needs, and you need a lot less than you think you do.
yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah,
absolutely, when if you go to by yourself, or if you go with someone else that has your similar likes, you're probably not going to drink, and drinking costs a lot of money. You're probably going to be okay with waking up in the morning and going to for a walk or a hike, and those are all free.
yeah,
You're going, the other thing to note is every single country, every single county, city, town, whatever, they probably have a Facebook page or an Instagram page or something. And they're going to
yeah,
tell you what things are free on what days. For example, I'm going to Poland in a couple of weeks, and I know that for Krakow, all the museums are free on Monday.
yeah,
So every single city is going to give that to you. So if you're there for a week, then make a plan that you're going to go. I'm going to do the most expensive one and go to the free tickets and see what else you could do. More than likely, you're going to be able to walk or take a very cost effective tram or train ride, and you're going to be able to do everything. So skip the Ubers, get your steps in. All those little things are going to add up. And
absolutely.
the other thing that I do is I use there's a million apps. Pick one and start putting in all your money in there and seeing what you're actually spending every single month.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
You said something that's very important. I mean, I don't drink often. And when I travel anyway, I don't drink. And
Mm,
mainly when I'm solo traveling, I certainly don't drink because
yeah,
want to be aware, you know,
yeah,
and also because alcohol costs a lot of money.
it does.
So, and it's something that I can go by without, I don't drink sodas, I drink water when I travel. It doesn't mean that time to time, maybe once a week or once, whenever the occasion is there, I'm meeting people, I can have something to drink, but I pay attention. And there's something else also that you say at the beginning is like the thing that I don't understand is people that travel to go to the beach only, but don't see the country. And that comes to when you say you're not a traveler, you are an explorer. And I love that. I'm gonna steal that, by the way, that line. You guys, I'm gonna steal this. And so because yeah, for me the beauty of traveling is to living, meeting the locals. And
Mhm.
that's also the cheapest way to travel is to eat and live as a local
Yep.
and not behave as a tourist. And I tend to not, let's say France, because I'm French. La Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
You can pay to go up, but just being around La Tour Eiffel or just take the stairs, it won't cost you anything, and you will have an equally good experience, right?
Yep.
And so the same, I'll go to New York. I want to see the Statue of Liberty, but I'm not going to pay to go on it or whatever. Just seeing it and being around it, experience it, that's good enough for me, right? And but eating where the locals, testing the food of the country, having a conversation with a local, I think it's more rich. That's what makes traveling rich.
I
uh
love the fact that you just mentioned the Statue of Liberty, because the Statue of Liberty, right? It was a gift from France,
yeah,
and as all the immigrants came in through Ellis Island, they didn't have a chance to go up in there. They had a chance to sail by it. So to me,
yeah,
experiencing it the way that France made it to be seen, to me
yeah,
that's more valuable than going up in it.
yeah,
You're seeing a bunch of buildings and water, and guess what, you can go to one of the buildings, and going up one of the elevators in the buildings, it's free. So
yeah, yeah,
so
exactly,
but
exactly, yeah,
but I love that. The other thing is, eating local is one of my favorite things to do.
yeah,
And when you go to those street markets, there's going to be at least two or three farmers markets wherever it is that you're going. It's almost a guarantee. It doesn't even in New York alone, on a Saturday or Sunday, you can find 50 different markets. In Boston alone, you can find five of them. There's the fish market, there's the flower market, you name it. There's a permanent market now, and those things are free. And you can get some of the best food there too. So to me, if you start exploring, like you say, Jazz, if you start exploring, then you will discover that is a lot more cost effective than you ever thought it would be. And you're going to bring something back that's more important than whatever trinket that you bought. Is you're going to bring back a memory that no one else is going to be able to share with you, but it's okay because it's in your heart, it's in your mind, and you'll be able to experience it that way.
exactly. I love that. Let me greet everyone else that came in. Vicky, I'll come back to your questions in a minute. Hi, Jordan. So nice to see you here, friend. And I also have Linda here. Good morning, sis. How are you? And Jordan say, don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Thank you, friend. Do like the stream. You know what? I've changed the time of the stream because I used to do that at 3. Some people couldn't come, so I say let me try 5 p.m. But it looks like 5 p.m. less people are available than 3. So I'm not too sure where to put. I'm just testing the water. But you are a YouTuber, and I saw you've done a live. I couldn't be there. I didn't, because I didn't see the time beforehand. What do you think about the lives? For me, I love it because it's a way where we don't have to edit videos
Yeah,
and we can interact.
yeah, I think, and to me, it was easy. I thought I was going to have five people in my life. I ended up with like 17, and there was a lot of questions.
That yeah,
Yeah, so I thought that was really good, but I think it was just a way to connect with people, really
it
connect with
is.
them, and just show them
Exactly.
that you're a real person, right? Like,
Yeah,
it, we're just people, and we're trying to teach others from our experiences.
exactly. Exactly. For me, it's a great, great way. I love it. And I want to continue doing the lives. And if I have, by the way, you guys here, if you want to come on a live with me every Sunday, I don't know if I'm going to keep it at 5 or bring it back to 3 p.m. I don't know. We'll see. Please come. So, Vicky says, my in laws have sorry, everywhere, and said Antarctica was their favorite destination. Second was Japan.
Oh,
Mm.
have you been to Japan, Jazz?
Yes, and I did love it.
Oh my God, I
I did
haven't
love
gone
it.
yet. I want to be there for like a month, so I'm waiting
Ooh, you have
so
to
that I can.
save.
I know.
You have to save for a month. I
Yeah,
did love Japan. We experienced the, how do you call that? The capsule
yeah,
hotel. We took the train. Because we travel. I was with my daughters and we travel as the locals. And
yeah.
my kid, my eldest, can speak Japanese.
Ah,
can exchange in Japanese. I was shocked, by the way, because they used to talk between them, watch a lot of mangas and cartoon in Japanese, and I'm
yeah.
like, this girl, what are they doing? And then we arrived there, and my daughter is exchanging, so she's communicating. I'm like, you actually speak Japanese? When we come back, I paid for her some extra lesson at university so
That's
she could
awesome.
improve it. You
That's
know,
awesome.
yeah. And my youngest, we went to Korea also at the same time, and she could speak also Korean.
You
So yeah,
you have
Japan.
amazing children then. You did a good job as a mom. Good job.
Thank you, thank you. Japan, you should go. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a place to at least visit once. It's something else. They're extremely polite. When they have fun, they also have fun. um you know the it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and they have a lot of great garden. You know, anyway, I feel all the emotion just trying to remember
Hmm.
everything that we did. So, but you guys now have put into my list. It was not top of my list, but Antarctica has to come now, the
It
top of my
was
list.
it's it's spectacular. So
Yeah.
people always ask me what my favorite place is. My favorite place is not Antarctica. It's a different place, but it is highly up there on places
So
to
now
that
I'm
people should
curious.
visit.
Now I'm curious. You've traveled a lot. You said you've been to 53
Yeah.
countries. So, what was your best country? And what was the one you're like, I'm not too sure about it? And why?
Oh, my best country. So I've always wanted to go to Singapore, and for my 40th, I went to Singapore.
Hmm.
And I think my favorite city in the world is Singapore. Hands
Okay.
down, my
Why?
favorite city.
Okay.
It's just everything about it. I'm an architect and designer. My husband's an engineer, so we
Oh,
love we love the design of the city. It is a city designed for what it's supposed to do. Singapore is very hot during the day, so you can be underground or inside all day, and at night it flourishes into this incredible just people and the smells and the movement and the sounds and the colors and the activity. It's incredible. It's just so well
wow.
done, and it's probably the cleanest place I've ever been. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, that was pretty good. But then for I think that the more I travel outside of the US, the more I see that it's just better outside of the US. Um, so I'm sorry for our Americans that are on here. It just is. It's just different. It's newer. It's funny because France is and England and Europe is completely older than the US. Yet their infrastructure is just better for so many things. So whenever I think of better, I just think of outside of the US. And then if you were to ask me something about the US, it's I did hike down the Grand Canyon and I whitewater
Oh,
rafted 100 miles. And that's
okay.
probably my favorite trip. And that trip was camping, and I had to carry my own stuff, and I could take a shower for 7 days, and you know how it is. So
Yeah.
so if you ask me about that, that's that. I think Vicky's saying cruise destination. Oosh. Um, the apex on Celebrity Cruise Line is probably the most beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, man built. It is a beautiful ship. And then cruise destination, yikes. Alaska's very pretty.
I
It's
like
very
Alaska.
rugged. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Alaska's pretty incredible. So
Interesting. Okay. 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 Let's continue with the questions. So, no, here is just Jordan saying hi, greetings, chat. Okay, let me go back. Hi. We have, don't forget to, guys, I hope you like you did like the chat, the five of you watching right now. Uh, Liz, Liz, leave, have your guests back.
Oh, have me
Oh,
back.
please have your guest back, definitely. Because guys, we had some issue. I mean, had I had some issue with my camera, and now it's working perfectly. I think I had the settings that was not working properly. So now it's fine. I would love to have you back on the channel to discuss about, and so what can we find on your channel, Aramis? Because you travel with your husband. And
Yeah.
is it easy to travel with your other half all the time? Because you travel all the time. I'm a solo traveler, although I'm
Mm.
married. So,
I I mean, my favorite place in the world is sitting at the airport next to him. My second favorite
oh,
place is sitting on the plane next to him, only because of the possibilities, right? No matter
I
what you
love
plan,
that.
no matter what you plan, the world takes over and they're going to do whatever the world wants to do. It doesn't matter what plans you have. So if you're, for me, be with him, that's the thing. But I think what's on my channel is really a discovery of what could happen in the future. So to get very personal,
Mm,
the reason we started the channel is because Alzheimer's runs in my family, in my husband's family. And I wanted, if it ever happened to him, I wanted him to have videos to show how great his life has been. So we
wow.
started documenting it that way. But then all of a sudden, a discovery happened that we could teach people what we've done. And I was already doing the travel coaching and the life coaching and the professional coaching for work. And I combined them all. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, it was just a complete transformation of the way we thought about the world and what we could do and how much money
Yeah,
we actually needed. And we lived with so little when we lived in Puerto Rico for during COVID for about 6 months, about 12 months during the first 2 years of COVID. And our life was completely different. We spent so little, it was incredible. And we kept coming back to them Boston and saying, oh my God, we're spending so much money. So that's all of that came about. And now we're trying to teach people how to move to Puerto Rico and how to travel around the world and really do it on a cost effective way. And while
yeah,
you can do that, just retire early. Just take it all, sell it all, and just go.
yeah,
Um, which I think a lot of us can do if we start planning now. So I think the original question here is how do you plan for long-term travel? Well, I think if you can do long-term planning for long-term travel for that year, your sabbaticals, guess what? You can do it for a lot longer. Because you did it already. You made those efforts. So just keep going. I just say
yeah.
keep going.
I love that. And, creating those memories for your husband. And the same, for my channel is I always said that my mom died, and at that time, the camera taking videos were not a thing important. And the thing that I regret the most today is not being able to hear her voice. It's like I
Yeah.
even feel like I don't know if I forgot her voice and not be able to see an image of her moving and doing it.
Hmm.
And those videos are something that my kids can look back tomorrow. My
Yep.
grandkid is creating these memories. And when I travel and experience the world, I hope my grandkid, great grandkid tomorrow can say, that's my grandma. Or exact. Yeah. So that's beautiful. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that you guys are doing that together is just amazing. And when you
Yeah.
say being next to him at the airport in the plane is the best thing for you. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. The thing that I love about what we're doing also is in a couple of weeks, we're going with my mother in law, my father in law. They'll be with us
Mm.
for about 2 weeks in Europe. And then in October, I I've been saving for like 3 years for this. So I'm taking my Jerry and my husband and I are taking my mom to Cambodia and Vietnam. So
Oh,
those I'll document those because being just because the name of our channel is Iramis and Jerry, that doesn't mean anything. It just means that we're traveling, but we get to bring the people that we want to bring into our world.
yeah.
Um, and I think that part is important. And if we can bring them and I can bring my mom and we can all still get along and have a great time, then to me that's really all that matters because I'm not, I don't want to die with money in the bank. I really don't care about that. I want to have the, I want to be able to explore, have those experiences and be able to share them.
Exactly. Funny, we had a discussion like that with my husband earlier. And if you ask me today what's important, okay, is it planning for the future that may never happen or living
Mhm.
in the now, experimenting life now, enjoying life now? And
Yeah.
that's what I've decided for me. This is why I'm taking a year sabbatical. I want to experience life. I want to live. I don't
Go.
care about building, having a lot of houses, and I don't care about that. I want to experience and have fun while I can, and because we don't know tomorrow, it may not be that, it might, you don't know if you're going to have your full capacity tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and that's what Vicky actually is talking, age on your own term. It's
Yeah.
really planning for what we usually don't plan, the unthinkable. We might still be young, but you don't know what can happen in life. You become incapacitated, etc. How do you plan for all of that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
So, yeah, go ahead.
I like Vicky's stories that she talks about and
Oh, she's
you know,
amazing.
I love it. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh. And and it's funny, I design spaces for all different types of people, right? And then right now, what people don't know is that 75% of the people that are in the workplace right now, Vicky probably knows this, are 60 plus. And we're
Wow.
not, yeah, it's not going to change. In about 10 years, it's going to be something ridiculous. Like 75 of the percent of the
But they
people
all,
still working are
yeah,
75 and up.
but they're trying to do that. The retirement age keep growing,
Yep,
right? In the
they do.
UK, I think it's 67, 68 now. In
Yep,
France, they keep, the protest because
yep,
it went to 65. But they want
yes,
you to work until you drop dead. I'm so sorry. I don't. I never
no,
had that mentality for work. Like you
no.
work until you die and you only have fun once you retire. I'm sorry. I rather, that's what I say. I prefer to live with less money, earn less, but be free of my time. Work as a
Absolutely.
freelancer and be free to say, okay, tomorrow I'm going there. Not asking permission for a company to give me 20 days. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people can't make that choice,
Yep,
but that's me where I accept to wear the same dress, uh, you know, at all occasion. I may have only one dress. That's okay,
yep.
right? Instead of working to pay more bills to pay. Yeah,
I
it's
when people, and I think that's one of the reasons that the topic that you brought up is really important, is how do you plan for it and how do you prioritize it? And those are the conversations that you have to have with yourself. First
yeah,
yourself, right? You can,
yeah,
I don't care about, I love my husband, but I need to accept me before I can make him happy, right? And
yeah.
make myself happy. So you have to really understand where you are going, where you want to go, how what values you have. And those values are all going to trickle down. It's that trickle down effect that actually does work here, right? And for yourself is really understanding how you're going to spend your money because it's your money. You work for it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Nobody else worked for it. So
yeah,
if you can save it and spend it the way that you want by traveling, by saving it because you want to retire early, by doing your sabbatical, Jazz, all of that stuff is something that matters to you. And
yeah,
we talked about when you're going through this process, it's really lonely because you don't have others that are doing the same thing, and you kind of need a little lift. So I think
yeah,
when you start bringing up these topics and you're talking to strangers that I would have never met, 3 months ago, and people can see that we're all human beings, that we're all going through it, but we have thinkings that are similar, and it's okay to be lonely as you're discovering and transforming, because later on you're going to have this like awesome moment, go, hey, that was totally worth it.
yeah, yeah. And it's true that before I came into the YouTube space, social media, having that talk about wanting to travel in my 50, traveling the world and being married as well, traveling solo, having kids, is something that I had a lot of guilt about. I felt really
Hmm.
lonely. because it's not a conversation that I could have with people around me. They couldn't comprehend what I was talking about. And coming on that space where like minded people come together,
Yeah.
gravitate around each other, you feel less lonely. And you see that you're not weird for thinking like that. You're not weird for not wanting to, walk until you're too old to do anything.
Yeah.
And no, it's this is something that I appreciate with this space, YouTube. If it's something that I'm really thankful for, is the community that we create and
Yeah.
finding like-minded people. Um, yeah. I want to go to Vicky's message here. Vicky says, I'm going to Alaska this summer. Really looking forward to the free hiking.
Yeah.
Vicky, I'm jealous.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
everywhere, Vicky.
jealous.
You don't have to spend a dollar. Just go.
And that is very awesome idea. My in-law have dementia now, and showing them picture of the travel have been a great memory and mood booster. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's really
absolutely.
nice. Exactly, money is not the only way to leave a legacy.
Yep.
Absolutely, I love that. Yes, that's what I
I love
always
that.
say. Yes, it's not the only way. People think it's about, leaving houses and things to your family. No, there's also a way to leave legacy, you
Yeah.
know, and leaving a trace of you behind. It's a great message that you leave for your family. It's a great gift as well, that your family can always go back and look videos and whatever you shared when you were here. Thank you, Vicky. I love that. Yeah.
Me too.
uh
I have a thing that I always talk about is it's for me it's an acronym DKR. So it's dignity, kindness, and respect.
yeah,
I if I can if we could all figure out how to treat each other that way, then it would bring us joy, but it would bring others joy. And then we will be able to truly achieve what we want. And if travel is the thing that you want, then that's where you start off. That's the first thing you start off. And you have to treat yourself with dignity, kindness, and respect too. You can't put yourself down because you're trying to save money and you can't do this. Your friends always want to go out. Trust me, your friends are always gonna want to go out.
yeah,
Um, but you just have to say, hey, no, you have to have respect for your needs and say,
yeah,
I'm trying to save money. I can't go out, but I'll come over and I'll cook for you.
yeah.
Um, th- all that stuff is gonna start, making a difference.
Absolutely, it adds up, isn't it? It's really and what a lot of this a lady, uh, her name is Stephanie Perry, Exodus Summit. She shared a video one day in a live. She shared something. She was saying that for some women, the most expensive things they're gonna buy for them one day will be the casket. And that message touched me so deep because a lot of us, like many women, have difficulty sometimes to self-care, to give to themselves, to prioritize themselves. And a lot will save, 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 but never do anything for themselves, for their needs, for their joy, for what they want. And they may drop dead tomorrow, and what would cost the most in their life is their casket. I mean, she
Mhm.
said it so well, so better than I do right now. But that message touched me, and it honestly is through that community and seeing her traveling. She's a 50 now, she was 40, going and just living her life, right? Going after what she wanted showed me that you can do all that too. Even married. On my channel, I want to show people that even married, it depends of how you work with your partner, the communication that you have. And a partner that love you will want you to encourage you to do the things that are important to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And my husband is
Absolutely.
completely behind me, for that.
Yeah.
So,
But that's trust, right? And then
yes,
you
absolutely.
and the fact that you trust yourself, that means he's going to trust you, of course.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that if you continue to be the explorer that you want to be,
Yeah.
and really plan for everything because no matter, like I said, no matter how much we plan, the universe is going to do its own thing.
Yeah,
But we just have to have, backup plan number 20, and it will
yeah,
all work. It will all work out. That's it. But
yeah,
but I also believe that as travelers, as explorers, we have something in us that will automatically make us be able to be fluid, to be able to pivot, to be able to do all those things. And it's not just about the where you're going, it's about the money too, right? Because money, unfortunately, we could want all these things, but we have to have the money saved so we can do it. And
yeah,
that's what's going to make everyone be flexible. That's going to make you, Jazz, be flexible because yeah, we might not all have $100,000 to spend the whole year. We might only have 40 grand to spend the entire year traveling, but we saved it. That's our money.
exactly.
We figured out a way to save it. And
Yeah,
it's we can spend it any way we want.
yeah, absolutely. Vicky says we only get one life, and I don't want to give it to corporate America. Same here.
Me
Not to
neither,
corporate
Vicky.
America, but for the UK or France, no. I refuse. But that's something that I always had. Like, working has never been a priority. Work-life balance. For corporate, you'll work until you can't work anymore. You have to make that choice for yourself and decide to
I
prioritize your
work
life.
work life balance does not exist. I think
No.
it's the dumbest thing that anyone ever coined. Um,
Yeah.
and every single time it's like, oh, I'm like, whatever. There is no
Yeah.
balance. You're
No.
just
No.
making us work to whatever you say it's done. Like, give me a break.
Exactly.
I crack up at that statement. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Hi, friend. Tiffany is another friend that I'm going to meet when I'm in the US. Hey, girl.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I want to talk to you again and again and again. You absolutely have to come back. Absolutely have to
Absolutely.
come back. We need to, I want to plan a sabbatical, and maybe we can do that online. Lots of people want to do that and don't know how
I
to
do
go
too.
about it. I'd love to discuss with you to come back, and then we can discuss how you can plan a long-term trip.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah?
right, absolutely. Right now I'm starting a podcast and it's related to people that are planning to retire but they don't know how to do it. So it's really talking about how early you have to plan for it. And I have my first guest coming on in a couple of weeks, but I think that this will could be a good connection point because
Yeah.
sabbatical, slow travel, long-term travel, all of that retirement, early retirement has to be planned.
Yeah.
I think that people probably think that Jazz, they're like, oh, she's just gonna go. I'm like, no, she's not gonna go. She's been planning for like a year. She's been planning
Exactly.
for years.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
just don't pick up and go. You gotta have a plan.
Absolutely. The since I started traveling solo, it took me 5 years to save the money that I had.
Say it. I think we all need to say it out
you know,
loud more. I think the problem is, and I believe this is true to like the bottom of my soul, is women are afraid to talk about money. Men talk about
yeah,
money all the time.
yeah,
So why are we afraid to say, hey, we saved for 5 years and we're doing this?
yeah,
I don't know why we're afraid to do it. We don't say it to our friends. We sure as hell don't say it to our family. Um,
yeah.
I don't know why we should be more empowered to talk about it because it's our money. It's our
Exactly,
time.
exactly.
It's our
Yeah,
life.
yeah, absolutely. So we use it the way we want, definitely. So I would like to keep you longer, but I'm conscious of the time. We've been here for 1 hour, and your husband might be waiting for you. So where can people find you, and if there is there any other messages that you want to pass to our audience? And we definitely need to plan to get you back here.
Thank you for having me first, and thanks for everyone for the beautiful comments and the few. I love hearing about everyone's plans. It's one of my favorite things. Um, my YouTube channel is Iramis and Jerry, and I have a LinkedIn, same thing, Iramis and Jerry. My email is iramisandjerry@gmail.com. And my website is also Iramis and Jerry. So it's really
Yeah.
easy. IRAMIS and GERRY. They're all there. I'm very public. And really, the message is thank you. The message is do what you need to do first and forget about everyone else. There's a book out there called The Let Them Theory, and
Yeah.
Mel
Yes, I
Robbins
know.
said, I know, it cracks me up. She's actually from Boston, and a bunch of my people, my
I
friends
love
actually know. A
it.
bunch of my
Yeah.
friends actually know her personally. I've never met
Oh,
her, but one of the things that she did say one of her things was, if why do you care when if somebody's criticizing you and you would never want their life or be in their shoes? Why do you care what they think? So it's you have to do it your way. Who cares
yeah.
about everyone else? And Vicky said it, life's too short. Yeah, you only live once. All of that is true, but no matter how many times we say it, talk about it, you have to live it first. Take
Yeah.
that advice for yourself. That's it.
Ex- exactly. So let me add the last messages. Vicky said, I would love to have you on my channel because travel and retirement plan is fundamental to aging on your own term. Yeah, girl.
Come
You
on
know,
over. Send me a
yes,
note.
exactly. So, and Tiffany say, I've used credit card to travel and I don't want that pressure of how to pay when I return.
Oh my God, Tiffany, I can help you with that, my friend.
Yeah. And
I
thank you
can
for
teach
admitting
you
it.
for half an hour on that.
Yeah, thank you for admitting it, Tiffany, because a
Yeah,
lot of people won't admit, right?
absolutely.
Putting your whole
Absolutely.
holiday on the credit card is something that is hard
That
because
is the
when you
worst
come
thing.
back, you have the stress of now you have to pay for that trip. Yeah,
Absolutely.
reimburse it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing and being vulnerable here. Thank you for sharing your experience. I appreciate it. Yes. And have a great rest of the day, lady. I need to run now. Love you, girl. Thank you so much. This has been a great live. Absolutely. Iramis, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. I'm so sorry that we had some tech issue at the beginning. I hope that
Perfect.
doesn't disturb you too much. So, and as you see, my saying is travel is the new retirement plan. Go chase
Oh
your
my
dream.
God. Absolutely.
Yeah. So have fun. We will follow your adventure. Guys, go see Irani's channel. It's Iramis and Jerry. And I'm
Yeah, if you
sure a lot of yeah, go
yeah,
on,
if you
sorry.
want to see what we're up to, we're gonna do what we're doing live or coming up in a couple of hours. But if in Instagram, the same thing, you got me and Jerry, and all our live travel is gonna be there. So
Excellent, yeah. And you have so much travel on your channel. You will love a channel with a husband. They're doing great things. You are on the cruise. You just came back from a cruise because you
we
were
got
talking.
well, I have mumps, so I had to get evacuated out. But now we're going on a trip today, and then we'll post about that in a couple months. But the one that's up there right now, it's the Norwegian Prima. So that's the Bermuda
Right,
one. So coming up
right.
is Bermuda driving around in a little mini cart, electric car.
Wow.
So
Wow. Okay. I can't wait to see that. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. Guys, don't forget if you don't know us, go to Iramis and Jerry's channel and support them and do like this channel. If you're not subscribed, why not do subscribe? And see you next time, next Sunday. If you want to be a guest in here, please just send me an email. I will put it in the description. All
thanks,
right. Have
Jazz.
fun, friends. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Yeah, yeah.